What's up, it's Battle Beats here once again with another video.
It's battle, baby!
In this video I'm going to show you how to make a cheap guitar sound expensive. For those of you that know, I use this guitar in most of my videos, which is a Fender Stratocaster Deluxe 72 edition, and it's a reissue, so it's not from 72 but it's made just like they were back then, and it is an amazing guitar with a great tone, and it's pretty road worn as well, as I've had it for a long time and it's played with me on stage plenty of times, and I absolutely love this guitar. I also have got several other guitars. I've got a beautiful acoustic guitar, I've got a beautiful hollow body Epiphone which is from the 90s when Gibson actually made them, so it's way better than it actually is, and I've also got a 12-string electric from Dan Electro, and I've also got a bass. Is there anything else I've got? I think that's it. But this past weekend I was down south and I set up a portable music studio in my dad's hotel because we was recording some music and we were socially distancing and all that stuff, but I forgot to bring my guitar with me and I needed one. So we went down to the music shop and we just picked up a super cheap guitar, you know, so we weren't blowing the bank and wasting our money on something. But for me, having a guitar really helps me make music and get in the creative flow. So we picked up this beauty. I know it's pink, but it plays amazing. I was so surprised when I picked it up. This is a Squire Stratocaster Mini. So this Fender Stratocaster, Squire, is beautiful. Sounds really, really good. Obviously you can feel that it's cheap, but it roars and it sounds super nice. And it was only about 129 quid, so it was a right steal. But I'm going to show you how I can make this super cheap guitar sound amazing in this beat that I'm going to make. So we have got the guitar, it's plugged in, and we are running it through the CLA guitar, which is a lovely, beautiful amp simulation plug-in, and we're just going to find a cool sound for it. Okay, I like that one, but we need to tune it. Okay, so we're good to go. This is the drum beat that I've got. And we're just going to layer some guitar down on this. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, so I have mixed them, I've added bass, I've added pads in the background just to fill out the beat a little bit so I could get a reference for the guitars, and I'll show you what I did for the guitar lead. So obviously I'm running it through the CLA guitars and I've taken out the reverb and the delay, and I've left a bit of this stereo pitch change so it's nice and wide, but I didn't stop there. I added the RC20. Now if you make hip hop samples or you watch YouTube producers making beats that are awesome, pretty much every single instrument has got or has had RC20 on it. And these are the settings that I used. I used only a little bit of wobble, but it's enough. I've boosted it with an airy distortion, and I've added a nice spacey decay on there as well, and a little bit of the magnetic, and I've boosted the tone there, and it just sounds nice. And then to make it have that professional edge, just ran it through the virtual tape machine and it sounds insane. And I did have the virtual mic track on there, but when I went to mix the rhythm guitar playing the chords, I forgot to put it back over there. So we've also got the virtual mic track here, and we're running it through an analog EQ, which is a Neve style EQ, running it through a compressor and also the distressor. And I'll play you what it sounds like now. Sounds good, right? I'm a bit sloppy on the guitar nowadays because I'm mainly just behind here playing the keys. So, grown up playing guitar my whole life, but for some reason I've just got really slow and I need to practice again. So hopefully I've got, you know, a new guitar. I've already been playing more, so I'm already getting better. Just ran it through the virtual mic track. And the cool thing is running it through, running the lead part through a tape machine just makes it sound amazing. It gives it that warmth and that expensive sound that you get from when you listen to records from like the Beatles and just the old school days where it just sounds amazing, and it's all ran through tape machines. And the Slate Digital virtual tape machines are the best ones that I've ever used. A lot of people use the RC20 noise to try and get that feel, or the isotope vinyl, and I use those too, but just for this case I really wanted to show you how this tape machine makes it sound better. So this just goes to show that having a cheap guitar does not mean expensive sound. I have just ran it through the CLA guitar plugin, which is an amazing guitar amp plugin, and CLA himself is a producer god, so much respect to him. Some of his plugins are amazing. The amps in Logic are really good, but this just leveled up my guitar sound straight away. So I'm really glad I got that at Black Friday last year. I then ran it through the RC20 plugin by XLN Audio. It is just a great vintage emulation, modulation plugin, and I gave it reverb and I boosted the distortion and I gave it a little bit of wobble, and it just sounds amazing. I then ran it through the virtual mic track, which is by Slate Digital and it is my favourite mixing plugin. I ran it through a Neve EQ. Neves are the best recording desks from like ages ago, and some of the music that's recorded on a Neve desk is amazing. So this EQ really brings colour to the guitar and it sounds awesome. Then ran it through a compressor and the FG Stress, which is the distressor emulation, and it just sounds sick. And then to top it off, ran it through the Slate Digital virtual tape machine, and that just boosted it and just gave it that warm, vintage, beautiful feel that I wanted. You know, tape machines have been in recording studios for many, many years, and records like Abbey Road and just stuff like that sound amazing, and they sound warm and beautiful because they ran through tape machines. And I don't have a tape machine, but I've got a plugin that does a pretty good job. So I hope you like the video. I'm going to play the beat at the end. Take care, guys.